Vibe Gardeners, this episode of Vibe Gardening Inform Edition, we're going to talk about a hot topic, literally, as it's been a hot year and there's been quite a few heat waves here in 2025. So with that said, let's get going. As you can see here, this is my cucumber that's being scorched by the heat wave. And this is something that you've seen in my other videos to this point in my shorts, really showing this thing being scorched quite a bit. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the heat wave this summer, which really for Southeast Michigan has started in approximately June, which is something we don't usually see. We don't usually see heat waves start until mid-July, until probably late August or so, which is the hottest part. But this year we have unseasonably warm, and we had about, I would say, 3 to 4 spells, or even more, of temperature above 90. And all the way up to the high 90s. It's something that we're not used to, and I did not prepare for that this summer. And you will see some of the results. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what had a hard time surviving, and what I've done wrong, and what I can do in the future to prevent it. So I think it's a little late now that we're talking about the last day or two of July, for me to make corrective actions and be able to recover from some of these. So with this said, let's get going on how these things are doing. So one of the main victims of this heat wave has been this cucumber patch I have. About 4 cucumbers being planted, 2 on the north side and 2 on the south side. So right now we're looking at the south side. As you can see, it is quite battered from this heat wave. One of the main problems is that I planted it in this metal, 2-foot tall metal raised bed, which normally would have been a totally fine thing in Southeast Michigan. But this year, one of the main problems that we're having is that due to the heat and the south side hot sun, this thing has become literally a metal oven, taking up the heat and baking the soil underneath. As you can see over here with the eggplants, it really has not been a problem. I mean, we're producing quite a bit of fruit coming out here. It's not actually affected because it's really kind of more a hardy plant compared to the cucumber, as you can see here. All kinds of leaf wilting and stuff, because it is a lot more fragile. The root system of the cucumber isn't nearly as advanced and hardy as a lot of other stuff. As a matter of fact, when I was planting cucumbers, I started in soil instead of starting in pots, because I want to reduce root disturbance in these things when starting out. Now, as we can see here with this metal raised bed here, the heat is absorbing in the hot afternoon sun. It's really baking the roots and really hurting it. And besides that, really, as you can see here, we have a lot of nutritional deficiency as well here. This is clearly magnesium and potentially potassium deficiency, which later we'll do a whole video on how I'm going to try to rescue these. But today we're talking about heat wave. So what I would have probably done different next year with the cucumber is I would probably plant this in ground as opposed to in raised bed. And as we can see, the other issue is the trellis. That's a whole nother topic in that instead of using a trellis system like this, we'll probably end up using a cattle panel like my neighbors have. And so this is really probably the worst you'll see in my garden. See all those drooping leaves. This is quite a sad sight. Another victim in my garden is this cherry tomato in my front garden, the sunburst variety I got, where I thought, putting a container would put me in good shape to be able to make it movable, and also going to give me the best opportunity to get the best sun for it. But obviously this year, as we come closer and look at it, there's a lot of problems here. I mean, obviously starting with the fact that it's getting direct sun, and it's also outgrown this container I've given it. It really is not the best ideal situation. So again, I think container here is one of the main issues here, in that this 5-gallon bucket I used is a fantastic idea. It was a normal summer, and it would have been totally fine if the heat wasn't this bad. But the problem is that it's exposing all that surface area for the root to get the heat. This is actually a big problem for the cherry tomatoes. So one of the things that we could do is somehow try to insulate it. But really, I don't know how we can even do it. We're going to do it like get white bubble wrap to go around it. I'm not sure. Another issue here with this is that obviously with this thing this big, this cherry tomato in this pot, one of the problem is that the root is severely root bounded. So in here, a lot of soil has been completely compressed, and water retention is terrible. So right now, I'm at the point where I'm needing to water this almost every day, if not twice a day during the heat waves, and that really will help a little bit in getting that hydration going. And another thing that I found helps with this cherry tomato is really foliar misting, which is basically spraying the leaves with water. This would help cool the leaves down quite a bit and really add to the cooling of the tomato. This right here is a brand new hydrangea that we got from Menards this season, and we're hoping it to be going to be a nice hydrangea. As you can see right now, it really is, it had a lot of heat stress from earlier during heat waves. But one thing we realized is that with, again, foliar misting and also watering once or twice a day, actually really helped it survive this heat wave and give it a second life. And as you can see, it's even getting ready to flower a little bit. So this one survived quite well under that circumstance. And here we have some hostas we have in the front garden. This one probably would have just done better if we put it out in the shade more. It's in direct sun, and it is quite battered, as you can see. It is absolutely getting torched on the end of the leaves here. And that is classic heat stress symptom, and actually forced quite a bit of early flowering on it as well. As you can see, this year the heat wave has really affected my garden in ways that I never thought was possible in southeast Michigan. But as you can see, I've basically taken care of a lot of my plants, and the majority of them are surviving, at least getting by, from extra watering, especially on the roots, giving it a little extra watering in the morning, and then also in the afternoon during the hottest part of the day, maybe once every other hour or so, if you can. I would say come out here and just give it a bit of foliar misting to give the leaves a chance to cool off with water on it. And the other big thing you got to remember is during the time of heat stress, you don't want to add more stress. So don't fertilize your plants during this time if you can help it. This would definitely help the survival of the plant. And then again, one of my big problems was putting things in raised bed and containers. Like these cucumbers, I don't know if they're going to make it this summer. But at this point right now, I learned a big lesson in that if it's got really sensitive roots, like cucumbers, put it in the ground. Don't put it in raised bed if possible. Or if you do, put it in the middle, where it's away from that oven effect created by the metal or I also have some wood raised bed. But either way, don't play with chance. Put the roots in the middle of the raised bed. And that should absolutely help your situation quite a bit. And also the containers, again, there was a whole other range of issues with it. But putting that tomato in ground would be something I'm going to do next year. So I learned a lot from this summer with the heat waves. I hope you did as well. And I hope this video can help you as well. So with that said, let's go vibe with the heat, guys. It's going to keep coming. So until then, keep gardening.